Okay. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sir Baguhin, and to all that are present. Good morning. And I will be discussing our third lecture for this morning, and half of it is to be discussed later on. That I will discuss the engineer Madelo. So for my topic, I will be discussing the design of shares. So once again, I'm Engineer Dea O. Danlaza. Okay, for the next slide. So, before we officially start our discussion this morning, I will be introducing to you the key concepts relating to shear, and at the same time, I will be discussing this topic, shearing stress, and lastly is the topic. The most important topic is the design of shear. We will also be discussing some examples relative to this topic. So, again, good morning. Before we dive into our main agenda for this morning, um, I want to show you some photos. Of course, as you can see, naatay cutting of paper through using scissors and slicing of cake, no, and as well as punching a paper, and as well as cutting your nails. So these four activities are the daily examples or the activities that we do daily, exhibiting the so-called shear. Okay, let's try to associate it with the our daily activities. No, again, these four activities that we usually do in our lives, no, exhibits the word. I mean the shear. Okay, let's define what's shear. By the way, shear by definition. Let's go more a little bit technical. Okay, shear is defined or it refers to the forces acting parallel to a surface. No, I highlighted the word parallel there, causing parts of structural elements to slide past each other, leading to shear stress and potential failure. Okay, it's as simple as it is. Pag when you say the I shear, it's the forces that is the force that is acting parallel to the surface area or the area of contact. Okay. Sige. Let's try to be more technical na in this part, no, okay? Shear stress, okay? Imagine you have this structural member, per se, this is a beam, okay? The beam is subjected to shear forces, okay? Shear forces in both of its ends. So what will now happen to this structural member subjected to shear? Okay, it will now look like this, okay? It will now look like this. And as you can see here, no, I highlighted rather a red portion, kaning red portion which is denoted by uh, area, by the name area, because this part here is the area to be considered when we're trying to calculate for the shear stress. By the way, no, the overarching formula for stress is just technically force over area. Di ba moro mong ginatong pinakamalakas o pambato na tong formula when we analyze stresses, okay? But when we relate it to shear stress, there is a quite difference with the area to consider na lang. So again, no, since by the definition that we have, shear stress, shear force is the force that is acting parallel to the surface area. So technically, the area that we are trying to consider here is parallel. So if nakita ninyo, parallel siya sa imuhang shear forces. Okay? Sige, let's try to envision this one in a different scenario. We have here another structural member, and then as you can see, it is connected with two bolts, no, na si bolt one, sorry, this one here and another bolt, okay? What would now happen if naapod tay forces acting on its both ends, okay? And now, it will now look like this, okay? Inana na po siya ang itsura, right? And as you can see here, nanapod tayo duha ka highlighted diri nga areas, which is areas sa bolt. Wherein, as you can see, I denoted here the force P to be divided. The force in each of this bolt is just the half of the force that's pulling, okay? So technically, ang force dai ni P, gi-divide ra siya aning two forces so that you'd be able to calculate the force in each of its bolt, okay? And the shearing stress in each bolt could be calculated using this equation, no? C over 2 and the area of the bolt. And area of a bolt is basically depending on its diameter. But the overarching formula that is pi over 4 here, di ba? And now, padisad ng atong buhaton is P over the na sa denominator C 2. Okay? Pero it could be, this formula is just is na nato siya ma-utilize. Okay, another example, another scenario where we experience shear stress. Okay, we have here member, okay, another structural member, and as you can see, na siya force P. Now, if this force P is punched going towards, no, the result would look like this na. So as you can see, naatay another failure here, which is, another shear failure here. And as you can see, another area to be considered here, which is highlighted in this part, which is the red part, no? And this is the area to be considered when we are trying to deal with this type of shear failure. Okay, so this is now so-called punching shear stress. Okay, punching shear stress has this formula of just technically force over the area. But ang ato na pong pangutan na unsa naman po nga area ang atong i-consider here. So the area that we will be considering is now the the force over the area, which is B sub O multiplied by its T. Okay, now question, what is B sub 0 or B sub O? B sub O is denoted as the perimeter of the punch, no? Okay, it's the perimeter of the punch. And technically, the perimeter is just this part here. Kanang gi-highlight na to nga yellow. Okay? Or gi-highlight na to na red. So, okay, that's the formula for that punching shear stress. Now, we have another structural member, okay? We have here this so-called structural member. And as you can see, no, ang katong kaganyan akong ipakita are just single shear, no? As you can see, isa rato ang area to be considered, right? But in this part, no, ang akong ipakita there right now is another sort of example, no? Wherein, if mag-pull ning forces here, we will now consider two areas. Anong two areas man? Two areas because dili siya makita dire sa inyong sa atong POV, no? But there is an hidden area here. No, napo ni siya red here. Wherein this area and as well as this area are the two areas that you should be considering since both of its end has failed. No, imagining that scenario. Okay, if we are trying to consider double shear failure, we will now be utilizing this formula na po, which is P over 2 multiplied by the area of the ball. Okay, mao na siya tong ginatawag nga double shear failure. Sige. After that, no, I will be showing you in our next slides, no, the common shear failures in steel structures na tay visible here, no, by definition unsa to ang mga structures. So we have here an example of a shear failure, no. As you can see in our connections, naapod tayo another example here. And here, and another one. As you can see, lahi sila scenarios na ay sa base plate, na sa eye flange, na apod tayo sa along sa edge sa ato ang base plate and sa welded connection. Okay, bolted and as well as the welded connection. Wherein both, all of them are exhibiting shear failures. Sige, I will be showing you this one of the infamous most failure wherein shear is the main cause. Shear failure is the main cause. So we have here the interstate 35W bridge failure, or this so-called bridge 9340, and it's the bridge that's connecting that will go over the Mississippi River in Minneapolis and Minnesota, USA. So it happened in August 1, 2007. So as you can see, I have shown you here an image of the exact failure of the bridge. No, it happened again in August 1, 2007. So, okay, after this failure, okay, ang mga, actually guys, na dyan siya casualties. So, I opted not to include this because it's not really something dapat natin i-highlight ang statistics to the, what they call this, casualties. But let's try to go over with the technical issues na no, unsa din tabo, why did this bridge fail? Okay, long before, no, actually this bridge has been constructed as early as 1990s. Okay, but later on, structural engineers were able to distinguish one of its issues, no, and few of which is that ang gusset plate at certain nodes were later found to be undersized, but pasabot that it is undersized. So technically, the size that it had is not sufficient to carry the loads that should be carrying, no, ina na siyang sense. So if inyong nakita here, gi-highlightan na to siya o circle, okay, according to their research team or their investigators, 1/2 inch thick ra daw ang gigamit for the gusset plate. Instead nga ang naa sa design is 1 inch thickness. So ina na siya. So the gusset plate experienced shear rupture along rivets. Actually, the photo was taken earlier than the incident. So earlier than the incident. No, the gusset plates experienced shear rupture along rivet lines and block shear tearing. So unable to resist the enormous forces being transferred between the truss members. So once a gusset plate failed, the load path was broken, causing a rapid progressive collapse of the truss span. So that's the evident analysis coming from the investigators of this I-35W bridge failure, which occurred in August 1, 2007. Okay. Dili na ta sa tong example number 1. Example number 1, actually guys, medyo recap pa rin siya sa ato ang undergrad, no, kay since I recall na dapat napod tayo somehow examples with the analysis. Gamay rin siya sa rapod kaayo. Okay, example number 1. So the double angle is shown, okay, let me just change my pen. The double angle shown in the figure carries a tensile force of P. No, we have here your allowable shearing stress of the bolt, which is 150, and it's denoted as capital FB. Okay, bolt diameter, we have the D sub 1, which are this one kaning 2 and 3 kana sila, and the D sub 2, which is upat sila, that's bolt D2. And it's upat nga nung upat man siya. If you would look at it on its top view, makita ninyo nga, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 bolts are our D sub 2 nga bolts, which both of which ang D sub 1 and the D sub 2 has diameter of 25 mm. And it has this slope of 1:2 in terms of its vertical to horizontal. So the questions are, find the maximum safe load P based on the shearing strength of bolt D2. Next is find the maximum safe load P based on shearing strength of bolt D1. And if P is equals to 400 kilonewton, what is the required bolt diameter? Okay, let's try to see it on a closer look. Okay, kung ako pa solve on ani, of course, mag-una jud ko always basta na ako makita na slope, ako gyud na siyang kuhaon ang ako ang angle here, because that will be needed in getting our forces. So let's try to put this 1:2 nga slope, and that's just TOA, diba? That's just TOA. So if this is your triangle, no? This is your triangle. If we would elaborate more on this, vertical is 1 and then the horizontal is 2. So as you can see, based on our trigonometry, no, it's just technically opposite over adjacent, right? So that's the trigonometric identity that we should be using is the TOA, which is the tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent, which is in this case that's 1/2. Okay, tan theta is equals to 1/2. So we have now our angle to be 26.57. No, nanay angle. Now, if you would take a closer look at this force here, P. So technically it's inclined, di ba? Pero kung ako pa, since we have here our angle, we will break down this force into its components. So unsa man ang mga components ana? It's just, di ba? Py, and then this is Px, no? Na siya. Now, Okay. If we are to solve this problem of find the maximum safe load P based on shearing strength of bolt dito, so since dito man ang atong i-analyze ana, okay, dito nga mga, kani nga mga bolts, no, kani man siya mga bolts ang atong i-analyze here. So our unknown should be coming from here, diri magikan, because our allowable shearing stress is already as is. So diri ta magkuha og potential value for our P. P is the safe load, denote nato siya as P, okay? So we recall nga atong formula is just force over area, but ang atong question ani unsa daay nga force, and at the same time unsa naman pud daay nga area ang atong i-consider since upat biya ka bolt. So since, no, as you can see, we are analyzing shearing. So shearing. So as you can see, unsa ganito ang definition nato sa shearing? Shearing is the force, a shear technically, force that is parallel. So if you would look at these components, Py and Px, unsa di ato ang mga forces, which among the two exhibits, goes in the line of direction along with these four areas here, di ba, atong Px. So that's why we have here our cos 26.57. So our force here is not just the P itself, no, kay it's already inclined. So since we are only taking into consideration man our shearing, so that's the time nga ang atong gamiton is the x component, which is P cos 26.57, and all over its area. So what's the area that we should be considering? Muna ni akong ga-highlight here, the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. And these 4 areas here could be calculated. It's just basically pi over 4d squared, right? But since upat man sila kabuok, so we will be multiplying this with 4. And shift solve lang na nato sila. So let's try to do that, no? Shift solve lang para mapusla nato tong calculator. So if we would input that in our calculator, it's just Px cos 26.57, and our area to consider is 4 pi over 4, and multiplied with its diameter, which is 25 squared. So we have here our allowable, no? And that's it, okay? Shift solve na to na siya. Natay makuha nga pilam ni. Medyo dugay siya. 302. Okay, this is in terms of Newton. So since, no, let's try to envision that in kilonewton, we have now our final answer to be 329.303 at 302. So that's similar to what we calculated. No? Okay. Diri na punta. For our second problem, no, find the maximum safe load based on shearing strength per gyapon. Pero now, this time, we will be taking into consideration the what? The 3 bolts here. The bolt 1, 3 bolts here. 1, 2, 3. So, as you notice, if imo na siyang lantawon on its actual orientation, manotice ninyo na ang ato ang force P here is parallel siya sa ato ang direction sa ato ang mga areas sa atong bolts. So that's the time nga dili na ta mag-breakdown sa atong components. So P is just force over area, inequality or equate it to the allowable, which is 150. So P over 3, pi over 4, 25 squared. So nganong 3 na siya, it's because 3 man ka bulk bolts diri to consider. This is 1, 2, and 3. So tulo na siya ka bolts ang atong i-consider. So P is now this value, 441, 790. And if you would express that in kilonewton, so ato na siyang, na siya ang imuhang answer. So if we would operate that in our calculator, ato lang tong i-reason tong ato ang x component kaganyan. Change this one with 3. Shift solve, kabulon man ta nga 440. Sorry. Shift, clear sana to. Okay. Pero as is lang na siya, guys. So mo na siya. Na lang. 441.79. So and lastly, if P is equals to 400 kilonewton, what is the required bolt diameter? So, actually, in this part, no, naano siya tensile, pero gitas po iyang tensile. Pero since ang ato ang focus here is ang shearing, and at the same time mong gyapon ni govern, so might as well na lang shear na lang ta mag-focus. So shearing is ni govern here, so similar lang sa atong solution kaganiya, it's just force over area. But the thing is, dili na, unlike kaganiya, unlike earlier, our P is already given. But now, our denominator na pod, which is na-added to si diameter, mo na pod ang atong ginapangita. It's just, here, 400 cos 26.57 for multiplied pi over 4 d square, d sub 2. Okay, that's supposed to be d sub 2. And the square 2, it's squared. And then express it with the allowable. So we will be getting 27.55 millimeters. And if you round that up into a commercially available rebar, so that's just 28 mm. So technically, we will be utilizing 28 mm. Okay? So example number 2. Okay, let's try to solve example number 2. Example number 2. Okay, same din siya. So the bolt shown in the figure is subjected to a total tensile force of 70 kilonewton. Determine the punching shear stress at the head of the bolt. So actually na siya succeeding problems, but I opted not to include it. Kay mag-focus lang kita sa punching. Okay, sa shear rather, sa shear. So we have here our bolt head, no, na daw siya thickness nga 30. Naapod tayo there sa root thread sa body, which is 38 mm, and sa root thread it's 32 mm diameter. And again, the force that's pulling it's 70 kilonewton. So if you would see this bolt head on a closer look or in a top view setting, so naa siya diameter nga in aning span, which is 60 mm. Okay, if ato na siyang i-break down, guys, if we would try to break that down and analyze the punching shear stress alone, so if this force here is pulling it, no, gitulod, gibira gina niya, paubos, so tendency na gina yung mga forces nga mo resist ana, right? Na dyan mo resist ana. And that forces, mo na siya nga to ang FB, okay? Mo na siya tong FB. But, ang area to be considered is here. Pod, no, kung asa pod ang katong resist. So mo na siya kung giingon nga naa siya forces that are resisting this 70 kilonewton, and our formula for shear punching shear stress is V shear over B sub 0 or B sub O multiplied by its T. And BO technically is our perimeter of the circle, which is pi d, or its circumference. So as simply as it is, we have 70 kilonewton divided by the pi d, pi d which is 38, and T is the thickness which is in 30 mm. So kani daw siya tanan. Mo ni siya kuno ang T. So if we simplify that equation, we will be getting our punching shear stress at the head of the bolt to be 19.545 MPa. Okay, we're already done with example number 2. Now, let's try to delve in more with our shearing stress concept, Okay, we have here the most common property or shape of most common property that we consider in steel structures, the wide flange or the I flange. So let's try to understand more the concept about its shearing. So we have here your flange and then thickness of web and the base of the flange. And as you can see, kung naatay consider here nga A and this is the Y, if you would notice, this is our shear diagram. As you can see, it's although it's not perfect, but supposed to be. This one is in parabolic, parabolic ang iyahang behavior, guys. So if we would try to increase that more, in na pod iyang behavior, until it reaches its center, its end. So as you notice, nikalit, although it's not perfect, it's supposed to be like that, As you can see, if you would notice, from the end of it, from the start, sa start pa lang niya daan, we notice that our value for our shear is 0, because mauma na siya ang imong origin. But if we would try to o go over to the center, no, padulong sa center, naa diri ang ato ang peak or the so-called maximum, no. So that's the time nga makaingon ta nga shear stress occurs at its maximum sa when it is nearest to its neutral axis. No, mo na siya ang atong mechanism to this concept. So if we would try to look at where or locate asa si average shear, no, naa siya diri na part. So inana siya ang imuhang i-consider when you say average shear. And we have this formula which is later on na atong i-expound, no. We have here the VQ over IT and the average shear which is V over DT sub W. So we will be showing you, no, naadere, no, I will be showing you that this is the maximum that I told you, no, naadere ato ang maximum, no, diri na siya exhibit gyud, and that's the maximum shear nga ato ang ma-consider. So ang atong concern na pod here is, di ba, ang atong formula for the maximum horizontal shear is the VQ over IT, no, VQ over IT, and we know that Q, no, or our first moment of area, no, this is the first moment of area, no. If this is our first moment of area, if we would try to break that down in a formula, it's just the area multiplied its barred y. So ang atong question na pud ani is unsa din sila ang mga properties. Okay, if we would try to look at this, no, illustration, this is the an example of a certain body, no. And then we have here your area to consider is kaning green na portion. Mo ni siya imong area. But how do we calculate the barred y? Si barred y is the centroid from the area going towards the neutral axis. So if this is the point or the center sa imuhang area to consider, so the distance coming from this center going towards the neutral axis, that is just your barred y. Sige, let's try to flip that up, no? Flip nato ni siya. So same gyapon nga scenario, no, nga if this is the area that you will be considering, kaning green na portion mo ni siya imong area, no, area nga imong i-consider. So the centroid to that and the centroid from the distance of the area that you will be considering going towards the neutral axis, it doesn't matter kung sa yung orientation, this is the barred y which is utilized in this portion. So this is how you get the first moment of area. So si first moment of area DI is the calculation or tells us how the shear will be distributed relative to its cross section. So ina na siya. So kung magkadool siya sa imuhang neutral axis, mas magkadako iyahang value. So we have different we have here our different mga cross-section, no? We have here the rectangular. So kung rectangular ang behavior, lantawon na to. Let's try to see what would be the behavior of your shear, no? Shear would look like here, would look like this, no? As you can see. And we have here our derived equation for the maximum shear, which is 3V over 2 BD. Okay? Mo ni siya atong behavior. Si red is si maximum. How about if it's circular, no, mga derived na ni siya ng mga equation. How about if it's circular? So if it's circular, nanatay radius here, of course, nanatay radius. So our equation or our shear, a maximum shear would be 4V over 3 pi r squared. And that's just simply as it is, no? That's the maximum shear. And lastly, no, that the red portion mo na si maximum. And lastly, if ang atong i-consider is a hollow circle, no? Hollow circle, we have here the inner radius denoted as small r and the outer radius denoted as the bigger r, okay? The uppercase r. So the shear diagram would look like this, no? Nananapod na siya itsura. And our formula for our maximum shear is 4V over 3 pi quantity, our outer radius square it plus the product of the outer and inner radius plus the inner radius square mo, and all over the outer outer radius, raise it to the power of 4 minus the inner radius raised it to the power of 4. So this is just the formula for our maximum shear stress. Okay. So again, mo ni siya ang ato ang summary sa formulas nga atong giingon, rectangular, and for the circular, and for our hollow. Okay. Another formula to that, mo tong akong giingon kaganiya, that's the average web shear stress, which is denoted as V over dt sub W. And average web shear stress formula is only applicable in wide flange, channel, and Z section. So average web shear stress for other sections would just plainly force over area. For all sections, shear is 0 at the top and the bottom of its flanges. So matong explanation earlier based on our shear diagram, you notice na naa siya sa top and bottom. Technically, 0 yun iyahang value for its shear, and it exhibits its maximum at the neutral axis. Okay? So we have here also our formula, another concept here, which is the shear flow. So let's try to understand more about shear flow. Si shear flow, sige, dirita kay shear flow. Shear flow, it has this formula of Q is equals to BQ over I, wherein the unit of shear flow is exhibited in Newton per, or expressed in Newton per millimeter. If we try to understand or try to envision how does shear flow works, if this is your neutral axis, we have here your C section, natay channel here, and shear flow is technically, if you have the shear force acting on it, si shear flow di would look like this, carefully notice the tiny arrows that are all over the cross section of this channel. So mo ni siya si shear flow. Okay, that's the shear flow. So if this shear flow would work like this, it would rotate on a clockwise direction. Na ay tendency nga ang ato ang cross section would rotate, overturn, di ba? Na siya tendency nga mo rotate. And that's the main reason nga nung dapat si shear di dapat dili siya ibutang diri if it's not symmetrical, dili man siya symmetrical nga cross section. So we will not be placing the shear here. Okay, dili dapat nato diri ibutang si shear. So usa di dapat ibutang nato si shear, dapat mag-act si shear para dili mag-overturn ang mga channel nga sections. So if ang atong lantawon like that, dapat naa siya maisbog going to the opposite direction. And that shear that should be applied, or the transverse shear should be applied at a distance called, or this so-called eccentricity, na siya eccentricity, and the point wherein the shear would be or should be applied is now called the shear center. So what is, by the way, shear center? Shear center di is the point in the cross-section of a structural member. In this case, it's a channel, which the transverse shear force must act or must be exhibited so that the member bends without twisting. So dili siya maka-experience of twisting. So again, shear flow di is just how the shear forces are distributed all throughout the cross-section of your cross-sectional member or your structural member. Okay? So let's try to solve problems. Example number 3 na ta. Example number 3. A wide flange section has these following properties. So naatay, let me just change my pen. So we have here properties natay base of flange, depth, thickness of flange, thickness of your web, the moment of inertia along X, and our first moment of area, and as well as our yield strength and our allowable shear stress. So we are ought to determine the shear capacity of the section, determine the safe load that the section could carry based on its shear if the length of the simple beam is 8m. So technically, if it's simple, so it's a simply supported beam. And determine the shear flow at the neutral axis. And another one is the shear flow at the shear flow of the portion of the flange if from the 30 mm from its edge. No, medyo i-try na to na siya envision in the latter slide. Sige, let's try to solve this simple problem. Okay, simple rin na siya. So determine the shear capacity. Okay, we have here your wide flange, no? Ato ang i-plot si properties na natay web thickness, na atay depth, na atay thickness sa flange, and as well as the base of our flange. Okay, so our question now is the shear capacity of the section. So it could be pwede ba kaha ni or pwede ba kaha this equation. Asa kaha itong pwede gamiton ani. So technically, atong gamiton should be this equation because we are accounting kani kasi si isa, this is the maximum, no? This is the maximum shear stress and this is just the average shear stress. So diri ta mag-place atong formula. Diri na to kuhaon si V here. Diri na to kuhaon si V. So V is expressed, FV, the actual or they call this shear design, no, to be 0.40 of your yield strength, no? That's yield strength, which is 248. Plug that in. And V is typically expressed in kilonewton, so might as well put multiply it with 1,000. Okay, that's 1 times 10 to the power of 3. And the depth which is 300 and the thickness of your web which is 9. And simplify that equation is just 267.84 kilonewton. More na siya. So yeah, let's try to solve the second problem. So determine the safe uniform load that the section could carry based on shear if the length of its simple beam is 8 m. Sige, naan daw kay simply supported beam, no? And it has a uniform load which is yet unknown. Mo na itong ginatry og pangita in this problem. And the beam spans to a length of 8 m, di ba? And based on our analysis, di ba, kabalata basta uniform distributed and it's simply supported, matik nga ang ato ang formula for its reaction or technically the shear itself is just the uniform load multiplied by its span length over 2. So tunga lang na siya. So if we have here our shear to be 267.84, which is what we have calculated in the previous problem, no? W, which is the unknown, 8 is our length all over 2. If we shift solve that, we will be getting 66.96 kilonewton per meter as our value for our uniform load. Okay? Sige. Let's try to solve this third problem. Determine the shear flow at the neutral axis. So neutral axis is just here. Sorry. Dili na siya kiwi kaya akong drawing, no? Pero supposedly dapat center na siya. Assuming na lang na straight na nga itong drawing there. Okay, we have here the overarching equation for shear flow. It's BQ over I, right? So now, naaman tayo mga values atong B, which is what we calculated in number 1. Q, which is our first moment of area. Na type equation na, no? Na value rather, which is here. And 380 times 10 to the power of 3, and all over the moment of inertia, which is 108 times 10 to the power of 6. Simplify that equation, as simple as it is, we will be obtaining 942.4 Newton per mm as our final answer. And next problem is determine the shear flow of the portion of the flange 30 mm from the edge. Now, unsa man ni ahada ini siya ma-exhibit. How do we envision this problem? So we have here 30 mm, and before that mag-solve ta for Q. Q is naaman tay Q, but technically naaman siya sa neutral axis. So dili na nila siya nato pwede gamiton because it was stated in the problem nga naa siya certain portion nga imong i-analyze ang imuhang what they call this, Q, or the first moment of area. So 30 mm from the edge, how do we envision that? But let's go back to our overarching formula for the first moment of area. It's just Q is equals to the summation of your A multiplied by its barred Y, no? That's barred Y. So, like, if we try to envision the 30 mm that we're talking about here, no, if you would notice, look at the right portion, na siya shaded region here, no. If we try to take a closer look, no, di ma-zoom. Okay, naa siya shaded region which is 30 mm. That's the area that you will be considering. And ang 30 mm from the edge, which is the centroid to that, mo na siya imuhang i-exhibit na barred wire. So it's just 30, no, which is this portion here, multiplied by what? Its thickness, no, of your flange, because that is just the area, which is 12, no? And multiplied na punta sa imuhang barred wire. How do we obtain the barred wire? Barred wire, if you would notice, is, di ba, ang half sa imuhang flange is 300 divided by 2, which is 150, no? Half sa imong flange. And since, no, half sa imong flange is, let's say this is 150, no? 150 na siya. Ang imong distance to consider is the centroid of your thickness sa imong flange. If the thickness of your flange is 12, so half ana is 6. So technically, it's just 300 over 2 minus 12 over 2, or just 150 minus 6. That's the barred wire. That's how you obtain the barred wire, no? The barred wire. Okay? And we will be obtaining 51,840 mm cube. So we have now our Q. So as simply as it is, na naman tayo Q, shear na Q, and as simple as it is, plug that in those values. And since we have now our calculated value to be 128.56 Newton per mm. Okay? Nanatay value na. That's our final answer. So let's try to solve example number 4. Example number 4. A simple beam na po daw has a span of 10 m and it supports a total uniformly distributed load of 12 kilonewton per m. We have here our properties of the area, base of flange, thickness of flange, moment of inertia, thickness of web, and as well as your depth. We are ought to calculate our maximum shear, average shear, and the maximum shear stress. Sige, how do we obtain these values? So calculate the maximum shear in a simple beam. Unsa ganito tong formula to that. So if we would try to draw muna our uniformly distributed, simply supported beam supported by a flange and a pin or a roller, pin and or hinge and as well as the roller. So nado tayo uniformly distributed load of 12 kilonewton per m. So that's gonna be 12 kN per m. And our span length of our beam is 10 meters. Diba? We recall this equation, no? The maximum shear of a simply supported beam is just WL over 2. If it's pertaining to its maximum moment, it's gonna be WL squared over 8. And if it's pertaining to the deflection of your maximum deflection in a simply supported beam with a uniformly distributed load, that's now gonna be 5WL4 to the power 4 over 384 EI, which is your flexural rigidity. But since we're only focusing more on the shear aspect, so we will now be utilizing the WL over 2, which we already used earlier in our previous slides. Okay, so our uniformly distributed is just 12 load, and then L is our span length, and divided to 2, so we will now be obtaining our maximum shear to be 60 kilonewton. Okay. Now, we are to calculate the average shear stress. What's the formula for our average shear stress? Diba? It's gonna be shear over dTW, or the area. Sige. That's now shear, which is 60, which we calculated earlier, 60 kilonewton, or multiplied it to 1,000. And then 480, which is our depth, and the thickness of web is 12. So simply multiply that and divide it with the shear. We will be obtaining our average shear stress to be 10.42 MPa. Now, calculate the maximum shear stress in the beam in MPa. Okay. We have here our equation, default equation of VQ over IT. And if this is our flange, this is our wide flange. And let's try to denote our values here or assign our values. We have 480 as our depth. Base of the flange is 180 mm. Thickness of your web to be 12 mm, and as well as the thickness of your flange is 15 mm. Okay? And if kuha na to ang half ano from the neutral axis, no, neutral axis, mo ni siya nga tong values, okay? So if we consider no the distance from the neutral axis till this portion here, it's 2 to 5. Ngano giun sa pagkuha si 2 to 5. Sige. Let's try to understand nganong 2 to 5 na siya. Sige. The half of 480, no, you notice 480 divided by 2, that is 240, di ba? 240. And take note, we are not considering the thickness of your flange here, di ba? Di wala na tayo consider si thickness of flange. So technically, si 240 dahil, minusan lang na nato siya o 15. So that's 2 to 5. That's how you obtain 2 to 5 here. So makita naman po siya based on our illustration nga dira nga distance si 2 to 5. And to summarize, no, again, the first moment of area is the summation of your area multiplied by its barred y. And since na naman tayo duha ka values here, duha ka cross section, no, this is the A1. Unsa man ang A1 nga ginapasabot, this portion here, which is the entirety of your flange. And the area 2 to consider is this second one, which is the portion of your web above the neutral axis. And how do we obtain that? So we have here our area 1, area of your flange. So that's 180 multiplied by 15, the area of flange. And now, how do we obtain the barred y here? Barred y is from the centroid of this portion going towards the neutral axis. And how do we obtain the barred y here? So it's just 2 to 5 plus 15 over 2, or just 2 to 5 plus 7.5. Plus na pud ka sa area na mga ikaduha, which is the portion of your web, that's just pila man eh? 12 multiplied by 2 to 5, or 2 to 5 times 12. And the distance from the centroid of this area 2 going towards the neutral axis, that is now your barred y. No, that's now your barred y. That's 2 to 5 over 2. And expressing this equation, we will now be getting our first moment of area to be 931 500 mm cube. So simplify this equation, no, na naatay na-calculate ka gani nga shear value of 60 kilonewton. We also have our first moment of area, the moment of inertia, and as well as your web thickness to be 12 mm. And simplify that equation, we will now be obtaining the maximum shear stress in the beam to be 12.16 MPa. Now, let's go to our last portion of our analysis for this morning. This is based on our NSCP Code 2015, Section 507, Design of Members for Shear. So I actually simplified our code, no? Based on our code, guys, everyone, we have here our nominal strength denoted as Vn and V sub n. V sub n is calculated using this equation, which is 0.6 Fy Aw and multiplied by Cv. Wherein where Fy is just the yield strength, Aw is the overall depth times web thickness, or just the area of your web, and the Cv is your web shear coefficients. And if you would read our NSCP code, naatay mga limit states, naatay web shear buckling, inelastic buckling, and web elastic buckling. Sige, if we read our NSCP 2015 code, ang ato ang ginabuhat ana is just testing if asa ang mopasar, then that's automatically the value. We are eyeing for the values of our CV. Tungod kay we will be utilizing that in getting our nominal strength. But the question is, asa di ay siya, asa di ta maguna? So, natay mga conditions that are stated in our NSCP, guys. We have for webs of rolled I-shaped members, we have daw our PV is equals to 1 and our factor of safety, or your omega sub V, to be 1.50. If that's the case, we have to be we have to check whether the H over TW satisfies this side of your equation, which is the 2.24 square root of E. No, E is the Young's modulus of elasticity and yield strength is the Fy. Now, question, if SI gani ang if English ato ang i-consider English units, no? Ang atong gamiton nga E, ana, di ba? We recall that's 29,000 KSI, di ba? KSI. If we are analyzing problems relating to SI units, no, we will now be utilizing our Young's modulus of elasticity to be 200,000 MPa, di ba? Mo na tong na-recall. So, given the fact manggod kini si HTW, man ni siya makuha na siya sa table ni AIS ni NSC AISC nga mga properties wherein inig mag-upload ko sa ako ang what they call this resources. I will also be uploading the properties that are in the table, no? Daghan man to siya good. Sige, I will be giving you the link. After which, no, si HTW makuha na nato siya sa ato ang table, no, based on the property type of wave flange or properties sa flange nga ato ang or eye shape nga atong gina-consider. And later on, ang ato na siyang i-check whether ni satisfy siya ani nga condition. If in any case nga ni satisfy siya ani nga condition, automatically makuha nimo is 1 nga value for your CV. Mo na siyang gamiton. And your factor of safety and the FIV1 mo imong gamiton, which is again FIV V sub B is equals to 1 and as well as your factor of safety to be 1.5. If in any case, no, dili siya mo satisfy ani nga condition, dili na pud sa second condition, for webs of all other doubly symmetric shapes and singly symmetric shapes, channels except around HSS, so phi V na pod is 0.9 and the omega sub V is equals to 1.67. So if imo na siyang i-check na pod nimo, if dili na siya mo pasar, so i-check na pod nimo dire if imong H over TW is ni satisfy siya ang ining equation, so automatically 1 imong gamitan and this value is here. Now, we have another they call this variable here, unknown, which is the K sub V, which is denoted as the web plate buckling coefficient. Asa na siya makuha? Ano na siya sa next slide? So ipakita na nato later. So again, no, if lantawan ninyo mo na siya, this is our values here. If this equation is satisfied, automatically you will be using this and this one. If it does not satisfy this condition, you go to the next and utilize this and so on and so forth. So dili na punta sa ato ang next variables no gina-consider. Here is our KV. Diri na to kwaon si K sub V, which is called as our web plate buckling coefficient KV. So in our analysis using the LRFD, automatically naatay V sub U should be lesser or equal to the phi V sub N, no, which is our design shear strength, no. And for ASD, your allowable shear strength should be lesser than or equal to the ratio between divide ang imong nominal shear over the factor of safety. Okay? Using the ASD, wherein naanapod tayo mga table here. We have here our table for the sources of our K sub V or our web plate buckling coefficient. So for unstiffened, mo na siya ang gamiton 5 T-shape stem for stem of T-shape sections, 1.2 for stiffened webs. We have here now another variable which is A. So unsa din ni si A? A is the clear distance between the transverse stiffeners, which is expressed in mm. So unsa din na, so let's say this is your stiffener, no, more siyang flange gihapon. Okay, more siyang may itsura nga flange, nipis na siya. So the A, the I is this distance here. Okay, this is the stiffener po ni siya nga portion, and the clear distance between those two is the A that we are talking about here. So ina na lang siya, simplify this equation, i-check mo if musta satisfy siya, automatically this one. And if it's the otherwise, no, this equation na pod imuhang gamiton for your TV. And H is the clear distance between flanges, no? Okay. Sige, let's try to solve problems in example number 5. Example number 5. A simply supported beam with a span length of 45 feet is laterally supported at its end and is subjected to the service loads. Take note, service loads of dead load 35 pounds per foot or including its self-weight, and the live load which is 95 pounds per foot. If the yield strength is expressed to be Fy is equals to 50 KSI, and W14 or the wide flange 14 times 90 mo ni siya nga to ang wide flange na ay W14 times 90 by 90 is used. Check the beam for shear. So i-analyze natin siya whether this wide flange here is sufficient to resist shear forces. Sige. If we try to envision that beam that we're talking about here, we have here a simply supported beam. And we have here a span length of 45 foot. Nganong uniformly distributed, kaya automatically, assume na to, wala mo siya naingon nga point load or anything. So automatically, uniformly distributed lang siya. So that's our WU. Okay, WU. Now, our question is, unsa si WU na to? WU is given, should be get coming from here. So, ma'am, sorry, nararunod ko. Okay, a day, if this is WU, automatically, kanila lugar i-plus na ako. No, take note na, tagi-highlight the ring word is service loads. Service loads, so automatically, we need to factor them. So how do we factor loads? Based on our loading, what? Combination. So the loading combination that is present in our, based on our NSCP, that's 1.2D plus 1.6L, di ba? So if we would factor these loads, we would now be operating it like this. So 1.2 multiplied by 35, which is the dead load, and 1.6 multiplied by 95, which is the live load. We will now be getting a value for your uniformly distributed load of 194 pounds per foot. Okay? And we have here our equation, no? Ito lang ibutang need sila daan so that dali na nato siya ma-pinpoint later. Okay? Sige. Next slide. Ahan mo to. Sige. If we would analyze or get the value for our VU, automatically, natay ma-obtain ana nga or natay ma-recall ana nga equation, di ba? If inyong lantawon again, the equation for a simply supported beam, if you would be getting its shear and as well as the reaction on its supports, it's just plainly WL squared over 2. Sige. WL over 2. WL over 2, sorry. WL over 2. So that's your uniform distributed. That's 194 multiplied by its span length to be 45 divided to 2. You would be getting 4,365 pounds. And if you would express that into kips, no? That's, di ba, 1,000. So ganito to ang kuwanan na 1 kip is equal to 1,000 pounds, di ba? So divide that to 1,000, we will now be getting 4.365. Sige. Dili na punta lang tayo sa itong nominal shear strength. And again, no, our equation for our area here of your web should be the DTW. Now, atong concern, di ba, kay naatay conditions nga need na to i-satisfy. Okay, we would now be checking that. Ang atong concern is that we do not have yet the value for our H over TW. Okay? Wala tayo values ana, so asa ta magkuha o values to this. So if maglantaw ta sa ato ang table, no, dirita mo lantaw sa atong table. So as you can see, this is an excerpt coming from the table that I'm talking about, wherein properties ni siya sa W shapes na mga dimensions. So unsa ganito to ang wide flange, diba? It's W14 by 90. So W14 by 90 is highlighted here. So naa siya diri nga portion kanang green. So asa diri nga mga items diri ang atong needed. Di ba ang atong ipangita is the H over TW. So naa siya diri nga portion kaning blue ones, no? naa siya diri nga portion, and aha man day nga part here. So this is now sorry, this is now the value that we will be utilizing, which is 25.9. How about we get also the value for our depth, which is 14 in this case, and as well as your thickness of your web to be 0.440. Okay? So these are expressed in English units. English units ni sila, guys. English. Sige. English pa man po itong gina-analyze. Sige. Balik, let's go back to our slide. Let's go back to our slide. So since we have those values already, we have our H over TW to be 25.9, and our depth is equals to 14 inches, and as well as the thickness of your web to be 0.44 inches. No? If we would plug that in this equation, no, ito na nyo siyang i-plug in aning equation nga itong need i-satisfy, 25.9 should be lesser than or equal to 2.24 square root of, mato kung giingon kaginay ha, since we are analyzing English units, so 29,000 KSI, all over your yield strength to be 50. So this is how you express this one equation. That's 25.9, and the right portion or the right side of the equation is expressed, no? Or if imo na siyang i-calculate, that's 53.946. And as you can see, no, this equation has already been satisfied because 25.9 is actually way lesser than 53.946. So that goes to say nga atong gamiton for our value for our CVs should be 1, and this values here. Okay, since naman tayo property, by the way, sa ato ang DTW, so might as well calculate for the area of your web. That's gonna be 14 multiplied by 0.44. That is now 6.16 square inches. Sige, let's try to solve, no? Plug that in our main nominal shear equation. That's 0.6 Fy A sub W and multiplied by its CV. So 0.6, 50, 6.16, and multiplied by our values is CV to be 1. Okay? And we will now be obtaining 184.8 kips. Since, no, it is also proven in our conditions, no, na we will be utilizing the PV to be 1. So might as well express that, no. That's 1 multiplied by the nominal shear strength that we have just calculated, and we will now be obtaining the VVN to be 184.8 kips. We should be comparing that to the VU or the actual shear strength to be 4.365, which is way lesser than 184.8 kips. So this goes to say that this wide flange of W14 by 90 is sufficient enough to support shear. Okay? So if mag-calculate na punta further with our efficiency, is just VU over the VVN, that's 4.365 over 184.8, and we will now be obtaining a 2.36 %. And technically, our conclusion in this problem is that this wide flange of W19 by 90 is adequate for shear. Sige, if this is English units, no, mag-solve na punta SI units. So sa SI unit na to, similar lang siya process, yapon, but lahi lang ato ang what? Young's module. I'd like to see the similarities between the two. Okay, we have a simply supported beam, W30 by 116 is subjected to a superimposed load of 200 kN together with the uniformly distributed loads of 50 kN, per m, which is the dead load, and our load to 5 kN per m. Check the adequacy. In here, we have here our FY to be 345. Actually, this is just 50 KSI, no? Which is the FY typically sa ato ang sa ato ang wide flange. Asa na siya gikan? Because ang anong kabalo ko nga 345 na siya, because ang 50 KSI conversion niya to MPa you will just have to multiply it with 6.9. So approximately na siya guys ha. So 50 times 6.9 conversion niya, I think it's 6.895 if you would Google that, 6.895. So it's just 344.75. If you would convert that, I mean round that up, that's 345, no, which is mga itong ginagamit mostly sa atong mga analysis, no. So again, so much for that. Now let's try to envision this beam gihapon. We have here simply supported na po value ay for supposedly given dapat si figure ani, no. This is a uniformly distributed load na supported, I mean na siya na simply supported spanning a length of 12 m. Now take note na tayo superimposed nga dead load which is 200 kilonewton, which is expressed in this portion na siya dira, and it is also together with the uniformly distributed loads nga dead load of 15 and as well as your live load which is 35 kilonewton per m. Now the distance from the left support going towards your superimposed load is 4m, and then the other side is just 8m, no. Sige, if we analyze this, LRFD automatically service gi-assume day na siya nga service load, so automatically loading combination lang ta. So 200 kilonewton, 1.2D, you will now be getting 240 kilonewton. Okay, nakakay makuha na 240 kilonewton. Now, how about your uniformly distributed loads? That's 15 and 35. So that's 1.2D, 15 plus 1.6, which is the 35. You will now be getting a uniformly distributed factored load of 74 kilonewton per m. So that is the value here. And it has these two supports, no? Nasa two supports. And automatically, maka-assume ba ta nga same maka-assume ba ta nga VU matic is WL over 2? Dili siya because the WL over 2 is just simply for a uniformly distributed. But in this case, naa naman tayo superimposed. Diba? Na tayo superimposed. So how do we calculate the shear or the reaction in this support? So it's just 240 kung basic lang nato nga statics, no? It's just 240 multiplied by 8 plus na podcast sa imuhang 74, that's 74 multiplied by its area 12, and the centroid distance coming from there padulong dara 6. So if imo na siyang i-simplify nga equation, you will now be getting this formula, no, moro to siya. And this is the reaction, or this is just the formula or the value for your shear at this left support, no, mo ni siya, di ba, mo ni siya ang atong, I mean ma-equate ra bitaw nato si shear sa reaction sa atong left side. So that's 604 kN. Sige, let's try to express that one, no. Ato na siya ipabilin kay ato na siya magamit later. So check na pud ta kung satisfy siya sa atong equation. For webs of rolled eye shape, satisfy, check na to. Now, atong bigger question na pod. What is now our value for H over TW, and this one. Kay, di ba, we have another property of wide flange, di ba? Lahi na po itong wide flange here. So technically, lahi na po itong value for our H over TW. So if you would notice in this excerpt, another in our table, no? That's pila ganito to ang value kaganiya. That's, I mean, ang wide flange ang atong gina-analyze. That's 30 by 116. So if ato na siyang lantawon, 30 by 116 na ara siya here. So ato na siyang i-highlight. So what are the values that we will be needing? The depth, no? That's 30. The thickness of your web, which is 0.565, and as well as the H over TW, which is the 47.8. And if we would denote that or take note of that, no? Mo ni siya nga itong values nga nakuha, 47.8, natay D. And take note, no, if you would notice, ang atong na-calculate nga value is, I mean, na-extract nga value is in terms of its inches. So inches is English units, but since we calculate calculator, kung same tan ninyong calculator, naara na siya diri sa tong calculator. So 30 inches, convert na to na siya from inches, no? Convert that to pila man eh? To, I say pwede 762, di ba? And same with 0.565 inches, 65 inches, convert that inches to no, we will now be getting 14.351. No? Okay, so if ako lang pud pastoryahon ani, pwede ba actually diretso na lang ni nato siya i-calculate sa A. Pero later na lang, siya pakita na ako diretso convert. So, pero let's go back here in calculating our H over TW and this equation as well. So, if you would notice, wala lagi ka nag-convert, so 47.8 nga English units man kahatay mong nakuha. And take note guys nga ang height na to has this unit, butang na to based on our table. This is inches, di ba? Sa table inches, and T sub W is inches as well. So automatically cancel na siya. So technically this 47.8 is what? Dimensionless. So may it be in SI, may it be in English, pwede rin siya na to ma-utilize. But different na po ang ato ang analysis at lahi na po na ang storya if we would be getting the values for the depth and as well as the thickness of your web, because na naman na sila corresponding units. And since we are analyzing for the SI units, so might as well convert that. So let's go back here. That's 47.8 as is 2.24. Now, if you would notice, the difference here is that our Young's modulus of elasticity that we use is not the 29E3 or the 29,000 KSI nga tong gigamit in the previous problem, because this is only applicable if it's English, di ba? And since we're analyzing for SI, no? SI naman ang atong gina-analyze diri. So, mo na siyang 200,000 MPa or 200 GPa. Pareha na siya. So, all over 345, no? Gingon na ako kagani. I told you earlier regarding the conversion of the 3435 from 50 KSI. So, 50 KSI na siya gikan. So simplify that equation, we will now be getting 47.8, 53 is 47.8 is less than or equal to, is less than by 53.933. So medyo dool si, I mean, technically it's just the same. Katong kagani, di ba? It's 53.9 something, di ba? And now, ang atong nakakalculate here nga side is 53.933. My assumption is, of course, since ang atong giround up is the 345, of course, di ba, 344 point something, di ba to? So, nana po na siya yung discrepancy gamay sa decimal, but it's actually the same. But at least, ang atong checking here, ang atong main purpose here is that we should be proving mo satisfy din ni siya nga equation. So, technically, since ni-satisfy siya aning nga equation, pwede na ta magkuha sa atong area. Area is just 762 multiplied by the thickness of the web, 762, which is the depth, no? This is the depth and the thickness of the web, no? That is this equation, this value, which is 10,935.462. Actually, sa calculator, pwede po na siyang diretsoon na lang na nimo siya o calculate nga inches, then automatically convert mo na siya into it's squared. So how do we do that in our calculator? It's just 30 by 0.565. And pag mag-convert mangug ka, since this is area, dili na pwede nga imo lang siya in cross, then automatic convert, because we are multiplying two products na two inches, diba? Inches and inches. So that's gonna be the outcome should be squared inches if we're talking about English units now. Since we are converting the square inch to millimeter, squared. So we will be converting that in ani siya. Pwede siya in ani siya. So you enclose the 30 times 0.565, then enclose that and multiply it to 1. Then that's the time you will be converting that from inches, diba? Inches ang atong unit ana. You will now be converting that to no, squared man atong kapap. And then that's the time that you should be squaring that. We should be obtaining the same value, which is 109.1 10935.462. So same ra na siya nga scenario. Pero if you find it very overwhelming, pwede ra ba gyapon nga kanila. So usually lang ginainanira po na ako siya solve. So let's go back no in our problem. So that we have here our area of your web 10,935 and the CV na satisfy naman nato ato ang equation. That's now 1 nakabalo na ta, that's 1. And the nominal shear strength equation or formula 0.6 FYAW CV. And this is the equation. 345, substitute the area of the web. That's 1. Simplify, you will now be getting 2,263.64 kilonewton. And the equation, the PV here, or our shear, resistance factor is, and you compare it with the actual shear strength of your, the actual load, no? That's 604. And it's way lesser than 2263.60 for your design shear strength. So technically, ma-deduce gyapon na nato siya na okay. So efficiency, calculate ta, that's 604 over 2263.64, that's 26.68% yung efficiency. So again, our conclusion in this problem is that this wide flange or the W30 by 116 is adequate for shear, or technically it goes to say that this type of wide flange can support shear forces. And that's the end of my presentation. So once again, good morning, and I'm now done with my presentation. So thank you so much, sir, and everyone for listening.